Hello, welcome back to Sean O'Mac. Today we're going to go through everything that I picked up and everything that I read in the month of March. So, nice, easy, chill video just to go through everything that I read and picked up. So we're going to start straight away with Misery. So Misery is a Stephen King novel written under his pseudonym, alter ego, Richard Berkman. Now this is actually the first Stephen King book I have ever read, and it was a pretty good read. So this video will be out first, and then within the next week or so I will actually be putting out a Misery book review. Yeah, I know, we've done manga, then we did comics, and now we're going on to books as well. So trying to branch out. The book review should be next week sometime. Got that all recorded, but still need to edit that. Yes, anyway, regardless of all that, Misery. So I'll just give a brief overview of it because I'm going to go into more detail next week and just give my full sort of thoughts and opinions. But Misery, like I said, first Stephen King book that I have ever read. Why it's Misery and not like one of his super famous ones, don't know. I just simply picked it up in a bookstore a couple of years ago. Yes, that's right, a couple of years ago, because I'm slowly getting through everything that needs to be read on that shelf. It's quite a daunting task, but that's my task for this year. Anyway, so Misery, it's about an author. He's an okay guy, but he comes into a bit of trouble. He winds up waking up in some random lady's house. He's sort of tied to the bed. I don't actually think he is at first, but because he's got such grievous injuries to his legs, he doesn't need to be, because he's not actually going anywhere in a hurry. So he wakes up in this situation that's pretty bad. His legs are pretty much useless at this point. He's been in a really bad accident, and this crazy woman, who is his #1 fan, by her own sort of definition, has in effect kidnapped him, and she's keeping him for herself, basically. Obviously the story is far more in depth than that. It does get really quite sinister, as you'd probably expect from a Stephen King novel. That's what I was expecting anyway, because that's what I know about Stephen King. But it certainly did have a level of intensity that I was hoping for. It's what I'd sort of expecting out of a Stephen King book, not having read any of his stuff before, but having a decent understanding of what his sort of novels were like. But yeah, very, very tense situation that's pretty scary, pretty harrowing, but overall a really decent read. So that was a good read. If you're more interested, like I said, there'll be a video that comes out next week, and then probably leave a link to it when it does, or something like that, whatever. It'll be out on the channel soon. But that's that. That was the first thing I read in March. I think I started it towards the end of February, but I finished it in March, so I thought I'd lump it in with the March reads because I actually finished it and can give some thoughts. But that's Misery by Stephen King. I have a full review of that out next week. Now this one, I think will be more interesting one for people if you're a fan of it. Obviously I think the videos of this series maybe have been done to death, like the reviews, everyone knows what to expect. But I read 13 volumes, or the first 13 volumes should I say, of Kentaro Miura's Berserk. So yeah, 13 volumes. So I got to that part that I was told to. I previously only owned 10 volumes, so I had to pick up a few, so maybe spoilers for the end of the video in the haul, but I had to pick up a few because I was told I have to get to volume 13. And I sort of knew why-ish, and I'm glad I did, but I'm also not glad I did, because what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck? But overall, I'm really glad I experienced that arc. It's all I ever hear anyone talk about. Berserk is the Golden Age arc. My god, I can't believe I waited this long to actually read the series. It's crazy. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. I knew it was obviously very, very highly received. I mean, you go on My Anime list, and I'm pretty sure it's the #1, maybe #2 rated manga of all time on there. So I sort of knew what I was stepping into, but man, it really is crazy. I mean, the first few volumes is sort of just sort of fantasy, edgy, gritty stuff. But I think around that third 4th volume is when it kicks off with the backstory of the main character Gus. And my god, it's so many things all at once. There's so many emotions involved in that, and it's absolutely crazy. It's phenomenal. I'm really glad I got around to reading it. All I really want to do now is read more, but I only own the 13 volumes, so purchasing the rest is going to be, you know, sort of a costly task, especially with those beautiful Berserk hardbacks, which I own 2 of. So it's going to be an investment, but I'm really excited to one day finish Berserk. So who knows, I might do a video on the Golden Age and review that arc. If you'd be interested, certainly let me know and leave a comment or message me on Twitter and say that I should. I'm definitely interested too. I know that it's obviously a thing that lots of people already know about. It's not like I'm unearthing some hidden manga, but I thought maybe it'd be an interesting thing for me to give my reaction to the first 13 volumes for people that are fans of Berserk. I don't know if that's a thing that people would want, but I might do it. So let me know what you think of that, because, you know, if that's something you think you'd enjoy, then I'll probably make it. Right, so that marks the end of the March reads. We're going to move into the pickups now. So the first pickup of March, it keeps like throwing me off because it's April now, but right, March pickups. So the first pickup was Pez. As far as I'm aware, it's a collection of short stories. I have been told it's pretty good. It sounds interesting. It looks interesting. I haven't yet read this. It doesn't seem very long. Artwork is pretty cool from a flick through. I don't know if I can like show some of that, but you know, it's, you know, sort of like that sort of style. So actually, I haven't actually looked through this yet, so that's pretty interesting style wise. So I might, you know, never know, might do a review of this, but that's something that is going to be read. Like I said, I've got a lot to go through, but that's the first pickup, Pez. The second pickup was just simply because I found it and I haven't seen it for a long time in stock anywhere for some reason, is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun episode volume 2. Now I've had the first volume for quite a while. I haven't actually read it, so I don't know why I picked up the second volume, but I sort of like to be able to read at least the first 3 before I form an opinion on stuff, you know? Like, if I don't really like something or I'm not sure about something from the first volume, I'll probably read the second unless it's really that bad. So I thought I'd pick it up because I haven't seen it in stock for a long time, and then I'll be able to read it and give a proper... wow, I fucked that up. Read it and give a proper opinion on it. So I picked up the second volume, and then I'll get around to that again. Sometime in the near future, sometime, whenever, who fucking cares. Next we have The Girl from the Other Side, volume 10. Now I know there's 11 volumes of this, so I am very tempted just to read this and then buy the last volume, because I've read everything up to this point, and it is a beautiful, well, beautifully illustrated, well told, heartbreaking story. It's actually sort of a sleeper hit for me. I think it's a very good series, and I would completely recommend anyone who's maybe not heard of it to check it out. I think I'm definitely going to do, once I finish it, do a review of this series just for people who maybe haven't heard of it or be interested. I think that's like every review I do really, but I would, you know, this is a book that I would love to actually tell people about and get more eyes on, because I think it's fantastic and I don't see too many people talk about it. So once I finish this series, if I can compose myself long enough and get through the tears, then I will make a video on this. But yeah, volume 10. Then we have a series that I didn't really enjoy the anime, but I have heard many good things about the manga, and it looks pretty cool from what I've seen online. So that is Record of Ragnarok. I really love the concept. I think I only watched maybe the first 2 episodes of the Netflix series before I just sort of went, I don't really like the style of it. It wasn't the story that bothered me, it was sort of the, I don't know, just the general flow and look of the series. I didn't really like it, so excited to actually read this. This is a newer series that's been done in English. I mean, for England anyway, because we're usually a bit behind. You know, France have like a treasure troves of manga on every image I see of a French bookstore is absolutely fucking insane. I need to like learn French and move there, but the amount of things they have. But anyway, get sidetracked. Really looking forward to reading this. only just come to English, so probably give an opinion on this at some point. Very cool. Then we have another sort of highly anticipated series, another one I'm really looking forward to actually diving into because I've heard many good things, is Kaiju number 8. All I ever see is praise for this series. I haven't really seen much other than a few panels here and there, so I don't really know what to expect other than obviously it's in the name about Kaiju. So probably give some more thoughts on this at some point. Read a few volumes once it's released, because again, this is a fairly new release. And then we'll see how we go, but highly anticipated by a lot of people, interested to see what I think. Then of course, sort of spoiled it earlier in the video, but don't matter. Last but certainly not least, I don't know, did I just say that? I don't think so. But anyway, getting sidetracked again, get focused. We have the last 3 volumes in the golden age. I was going to say last 3 volumes of Berserk. Man, my brain is not working today. Anyway, volume 11 of Berserk, volume 12 of Berserk. Griffith, piece of shit, what an asshole. Then volume 13 of Berserk. Yeah, I have to do that because otherwise this video will get flagged. So I can't show you the front cover of that one. I nearly did. I'll have to check in the edit if that showed up, but I'm going to put that one down so I don't make any more mistakes. But that's everything I picked up. Managed to, you know, actually finish that arc in Berserk, and I'm really excited to read more. You know, it's crazy about Miura's passing, so I finally get to read his legacy effectively, which is really cool. But other than that, that was everything I picked up in March. Like I said, just a fairly chill monthly wrap-up video that I'm going to be making, you know, in the future. Do this every month because there'll always be things that I'm reading. I'm reading quite a lot recently, or trying to read a lot. And, you know, I pick up a few things occasionally, so it is what it is. But other than that, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, whatever that may be. And then we'll see you then. Sean Mac, out.